Chapter 4, Nightmare Night. She dropped the torch. You, Ms. Safrine, and you, Mr. Kristen. Horror filled her eyes. From a distant, security called out, "Rose. Rose. What happened?" "Nothing, it was just a deer, in the woods," she bawled. She waved our hands away frantically, grasped mine, and hurried off, dragging me along as fast as she could. Throughout the whole way, I never took my eyes off his. I turned back, watching him fade into the darkness until his face was completely obscured by the fog. She pushed me through the back door of her office on the ground floor. I soaked her doormat, water dripping all over the floor. It was only then that I felt the coldness seeping into my bones, freezing me, and my teeth began to chatter. She lit a fire, and its warmth began to soothe me. She went to the bathroom, emerging 5 minutes later in a nightdress, and brought one for me. She thrust it into my hands, pointing toward the bathroom. The water from the pipe was hot, and it helped calm me down. I changed into her nightgown. It was loose, almost like a tent, the sleeves longer than my arms. I mopped the floor with the dress, trying to steady myself. When I stepped out, she was at the counter, making tea. She gestured to the chair opposite her desk, and like a puppet, I sat there without protest. She offered me a cup of tea, and I shook my head no. But she didn't withdraw her hand, so I took it. The tea was hot, but not as hot as Kris. We drank in silence. I savored every sip, heaven in hell, just like my Kris. "How is the tea?" she asked calmly. "Delicious," I replied quite cheerfully. After 5 minutes of warm tea she asked, "Are you two together?" "Yes," I said instantly. "No, Safrine. It isn't right. He is not your kind, also you aren't mature enough," she said in a caring manner. That was the first time I saw her talking. She was a quiet woman who kept her things private. "What do you mean by he is not our kind?" I questioned her instead. "I meant, it means, he is different. Now, think about your mom and dad," she stuttered. I interrupted her. "Do you know my parents?" Shot back, pressing further. Her face was full of pity, as if she wanted to let out something, but couldn't. "Yeah. They are old friends of mine." When I opened my mouth again, "No, don't ask anything. This is it. You can't be with him anymore. If I see you with him again, you are expelled," she barked and bellowed. "You may go now." I turned expressionless, carrying the wet dress in a bag and the tent dress around me as I climbed the stairs. The corridor was empty. I knocked on our door, no answer. I knocked again, and a faint voice came through. "Who is that?" With a yawn Kat called out. "It's me, Safi," I bawled. I heard the shuffle of footsteps, and the next second, a click came from behind the door. Kat stared at me, her mouth wide open. "Where's your dress?" she asked. I held out the carry bag in front of her. "But what happened, and whose dress is that?" she asked, pointing to the tent I was wearing. "Ms. Rose gave me." "You are going to let me in, aren't you?" I raised my right eyebrow. "Oh. Yeah," she moved aside. I tossed the carry bag near the laundry basket and changed into my casuals, letting out a sigh as I stepped out of the tent. "Where were you?" "I was worried. John said that you'll be back here soon. Anyway, happy birthday." She hugged me. "I was with Kris in the woods. Ms. Rose found us." I told the whole story. "Really? Did he tattoo your name?" She was bewildered. I nodded. "Then why are so sad?" She placed her palm on my shoulder. "Rose's words are haunting me. She refused to tell me the truth." "What do you think it could be?" I asked her. "Is that important to you? Be happy about the minutes before Rose caught you." She patted my shoulder. She exaggerated about how happy she was that two friends' lovers were also friends. She couldn't understand my worries, so I decided to let her enjoy her happy mood. I didn't want to spoil it for her. After an hour or so, she finished her stories and fell asleep. I switched off the lights, but sleep eluded me. He was smart, lovely, and handsome, and I couldn't detect a single lie in his eyes. His gaze was filled with love and joy whenever he was with me. Still, I couldn't shake her words. What did she mean about him or his background? His face, which had blurred out in the woods, kept resurfacing in my mind. There was an unsaid sorrow that seemed to wrap around him. There were so many questions I wanted to ask him. Interrupting my thoughts, someone called to me from outside the window. Kris. My lips moved instinctively. He was floating in the air, his face just outside the window frame. I blinked to clear my vision and rushed to the window. How could he have climbed 2 floors? I looked outside, but he wasn't there. But now, standing in the midst of the woods, he called out, "Come." I was confused. One moment, I saw his face near the window, the next, he was in the woods. Cat was fast asleep, so I ran outside, desperate to find him, but he wasn't there. I called out, and from deep within the woods, his voice echoed back, "Safi, come." I followed the sound of his voice, pushing deeper into the forest. At one point, I stopped, gasping for air. Suddenly, I felt a tap on my shoulder. I turned in horror, only to find a pitch-black eye staring into mine. "Who are you?" Words came out of my mouth in a shocked voice. "I'm Michael." "How are you, Safi?" He smiled warmly, yet there was an underlying threat in his expression. "Who are you?" I asked without breaking my eye contact. "I answered your question, but you aren't answering mine. Anyway, I'm Michael," he replied in a cool manner. "Where is Kris?" I looked around for him. "He isn't here," warmness withdrawing from his eyes. I saw him." "Where is he?" asked, screening every possible side for his sign. "I used him to lure you out," he said like an anchor. "What did you say?" Used. Anger and fear, both built within me. "Yeah, I think I did." He stepped closer, and I took a step back, a sense of danger rising within me. "Now, do not take one more step back." He stopped moving. I halted abruptly and turned around. There was nothing there. But when I faced him again, his face was only inches away from mine. His black eyes held both comfort and protection, sending a surge of emotions through me. He gently held my hand to his. It felt as though I had been electrocuted, and I jerked away from him. His perfume filled my senses like an invisible thread. It pulled me toward him. He ran his fingers lightly over my skin and whispered, "Your scent drugs me. And yours to me as well." All I could feel was his presence. Closing my eyes, I pulled him closer to me. Suddenly, Kris's face flashed in my mind. I opened my eyes and pushed him away, sending him crashing to the ground. I'm sorry," I apologized. Anger filled his eyes, making them look terrifying as he stood up and took slow, deliberate steps toward me. I shouted for Kris. "Kris, Kris, where are you? Kris." But he didn't come to my aid. As my shouts echoed, his expression softened. "Relax. I'm not here to hurt you," he said in his voice gentle. "We need to talk." "Where is he? What have you done to him?" I was stubborn. "He is not here." I already said so. His voice slightly changed. "Why? What's going on here?" The woods no longer felt safe. "I believe we are having a little chat." He walked towards me. "But I'm not interested." Glad to meet you, mister. I don't remember your name. I'm leaving now." I stepped aside. "Blocking me," he said. I'm here to see my soulmate. I laughed. What soulmate? If you don't remember, I already found mine, with a little seriousness in my voice. Correct your words, he is your lover, not soulmate. He tried to put his hands around me. I pushed him away and started to run inside the woods. He started to chase me. All the way, I shouted for Kristen, but every time I called Chris's name, he grunted behind me. In the moonlight, his face appeared deathly pale, and his legs seemed to dissolve into the air like smoke. Slowly, from the bottom up, he transformed into pitch-black smoke. He bellowed, "Safrine, I'm coming for you." Like a jet, the smoke surged toward me. I pushed myself to run faster, gasping, "Oh God, where is the edge of this forest?" After running for about 30 minutes, I reached the sandy shore of the lake, then the end of the dock. I lost my balance but managed to stop. Turning around, I looked back. The smoke's eyes were now locked onto mine. I opened my hands and fell backward into the water. This time, I didn't struggle. I let the water fill me, sinking as deep as I could, my eyes closed. No helping hand reached for me. "Safi. Safi, wake up," Kat shook me. I jolted upright, looking around, blue-painted walls, a shabby room, a pair of cupboards. To my right was Kat, and behind her, the empty bed. Thank God. It was a dream, I mumbled. Kat shook me again. "What?" I demanded annoyingly. "What happened to you? You haven't been breathing for the past 5 minutes. I've been shaking you wildly," she said with a fright. It was a dream, in fact a nightmare. I narrated everything to her, not in very detail. "You gave me a heart failure, Safi." "Sorry, I got a heart failure too," wiping my sweat-filled face. "Anyway, happy birthday again." She hugged me and said, "Here," before throwing a gift box to me. "What's this?" I rolled the box in between my fingers. "Open it." She sat in my bed. I had undone the coverings and saw a maroon box. A small statue in a pure crystal was there. Took that out of my hands and viewed the face keenly. "Oh, my God. It is me," turned surprisingly to her. "Do you remember, last year when we're in a picnic you asked your nanny to etch your face in Heart of Art shop?" I nodded. "Well, I sent your picture and ordered one. Do you like it?" she asked with a doubt. "No," I said seriously. Grief struck her face and she opened her mouth to speak, but I interrupted. "No, I don't like it more than you. This stands next to you. I love it," I wept. "Stop it. Give it a rest," she said, wiping my tears away. Happy tears, I hugged her. "All right, sweetie, it's time. Get ready quickly." She got up from my bed. "Yes, we have to hurry. Only half an hour left until the bell," I rushed. "Ah, not for school, our home. Don't you want your Nana's blessing? Dad already arranged it with the principal. He'll be here soon to pick us up." I stared at her. When I opened my lips to thank her, she commanded, "No, it's enough. Go, get ready." "Surprise!" I shouted as soon as I entered my Nana's room. She was in her resting chair. "Safrine, how are you, my dear?" Nana asked with water-filled eyes. I walked to her saying, "Great, Nana." "You," hugged her. "Good. How is your new school, dear?" She ran her fingers over my face, something she always does when she's worried about me. "Awesome. It's very big academy, Nana. You should visit once." I explained all about it. I see. So, what's the occasion? You are home," she got surprised. "Nana, you are forgetting days. Think. What day it is," I pleaded with her. She never remembers the dates. All those years, Kat was the one who reminded her of my birthday, but my Nana never failed to gift me. Always made arrangements ahead of time. Well, she moved to the calendar and concentrated with curiosity. Oh my goodness. It's your birthday, Safi dear. She turned to me with a wide smile. Where is my gift? I demanded, one hand on my hip. She sank deep in thought, then went to her locker and returned with a jewelry box in her hand. She held it out and said, "Here. My little princess." I opened it. A necklace with large blue sapphire twinkled. Without believing my eyes, I saw it with my mouth agape. Nana gently pulled me toward the dressing table and made me sit in front of the mirror. She took that masterpiece and placed it around my neck. It fit perfectly. "It's your mom's treasure," she said, her voice soft. "The necklace has been in our family for generations. It fits perfectly, just like it did for your mom." She looked at me with tearful eyes. As I held the necklace, I realized it had once been with my mom. Her fingers had touched it, her breath had filled it, and now it brought a warmth I had never felt before. Slowly, I removed it and carefully placed it back in the box, handing it to Nana. Then, there was a knock at the door. "Shall I come in?" Mr. George asked politely. "Come in, George. Don't be a stranger." He smiled at Nana and said, "Just a precaution. I bumped into Kat's room without a knock. She yelled at me madly." He then turned to me and asked, "Saf, is there anything?" "Kat's been changed, you know, It's John. Both are dating," I said cheerfully. His face changed when he heard what, according to him, should not be heard. "Anything wrong, Mr. George?" I asked him. "Nothing." He tried to hide his sorrows. "He is a good guy. You'll like him." I approached him to comfort, but he backed away. "It's nothing, really." "Okay, ladies, cheer up. Safi, please go and get ready to the party," he enacted. "What party?" Sounded fuddled. "Of course, your birthday party." Though his voice was cheery, his face showed me of his acquisition. No, you have already done so much. Not again. We owe you for all." I turned to Nana and asked, "Did you know this? Tell him. Tell him to stop." Mr. George cut me off and said, "Relax. The party is already arranged. And for you, Safi, your father asked me to organize this. He deposited the money a week before." "No, uncle, I don't want anything from him. If he loved me truly, he would be with me here," I cried. Nana and I managed to get everything we needed because Dad had been depositing a small sum of money in the bank. "Don't, Saf. He loves you a lot. It's not the right situation. But I promise you, you'll be with your dad soon." Mr. George calmed me a little. "Why not now? Tell me," I pleaded with him. "You're just a kid. When I believe you're ready to understand all of this, I'll tell you." He left without saying another word. I turned towards Nana to ask, but that would be a waste of time. She glared at me with a blank face. So, I kept my mouth shut, left the room and went to Kat. She was always an aid to my wounds. Like, share, subscribe and click that bell icon for more.